Hey everyone, John G. Stevens here, and I am so excited to have each and every single one of you on here today with not only myself, but if we can pull up JD Barnes, James Dare Barnes, not only my partner, but also my dear friend. And you know, one thing about him, you would never ever guess if he's had a rough day, a bad day, a great day, a super day. He's always just on point. But JD, thank you for obviously A, being my partner in this, but B, joining today for this fantastic presentation about the power of financial freedom and how member benefits are going to help people get to that point. So before we get into the slides, JD, I don't know if you want to share anything.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what unveils over the next year and how lives are changed. John, you and I spent a lot of time talking about the power of financial freedom and what it can mean for so many. But honestly, the ability for people to dive in and change their own life, be given the tools to literally step by step, just take back their financial future. There's nothing better.
No, exactly. And I fully agree with that. That's something that we've been working diligently on, JD and I, and really the dev team and other partners, trying to make sure that we've created something that not only makes it possible for financial freedom, but really to help you get a better life. So we're going to have on the back end, you don't see him right now, but the amazing one and only Rick Grant is going to be handling things. Rick, if you wouldn't mind just popping up the slides for us here so we can get going on this. So the 7 tenets of financial freedom, at the end of the day, what it is, it's a smarter way to elevate your life and secure your future. And JD, one thing you and I like to say, we make it simple.
Oh boy. Everything that we put into this over the last 5-6 months makes it absolutely step-by-step simple for our members and for our partners in this process.
Agreed. So moving forward here on this, and once again, like anything, if there's technical issues, just chuckle along with me and we'll get moving forward. So just happened there, right? So all right, so we are going to close that and make sure I can get moving forward here. So one thing that's very important is, as we talk about, is the tenets. Is these are a tenet is something that is absolutely critical. It's more than a pillar, right, JD? A tenet is a central core, a central principle that you build your entire life around. And most people don't have just one tenet, right? I mean, there are some people out there, maybe, some kids right now, it's Fortnite. That's their tenet and that's all they focus on, right? But when it comes to financial freedom, we go in there and we talk about, and JD, there's this next slide, if you wouldn't mind just kind of talking about that, because there's some hard truths that Americans face every single day.
Yeah, we don't have answers is the problem for our future economic situation. People are struggling every single day. They're living from paycheck to paycheck. In fact, 50% of all Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 62% are supplementing their income with some kind of second job, third job, side hustle. 40% of Americans can't even handle a $400 hit to their budget. And so we're looking at some unprecedented times. And I don't want this to be a downer, but the reality is someone has to do something. Something has to change. We're literally sacrificing the way we live, and we're not really living. We're just barely making ends meet. And so there's so much pain and frustration associated with that it's our mission and our objective to help people overcome this.
Well, people are drowning in debt, JD. That's really the biggest issue here. I mean, the facts are 82% of Americans lack financial stability. 60% of Americans lack sufficient retirement. Did you know that 74% of baby boomers will depend on others? These are, it's almost like legal terms. It's not shall, it's not may. They will depend on others. And people, they're desperate and they need answers because they're drowning in debt. They're overcome from this avalanche of financial burden that they're facing in the world right now.
Yeah, and it's hard to show up as a good neighbor, as a good citizen, as a good parent, as a good spouse when you are feeling crushed every single day. The average person that we visit with and talk to, they're dealing with about $100 to $150,000 in debt. And then
Mhm.
those who are lucky enough to have a home, they're talking about 3 or 4 times that. They don't have the capability or capacity to be their very best self when they're struggling with all of this crushing debt.
Well, and that's really, like we talked about, member benefits. This is why we created this. We're going to go in and we're going to talk just briefly about a few things. But at the end of the day, JD, as you and I say, it's more than a membership. It's a movement worth sharing.
I mean, imagine, John, if you changed one person's life, one
Hmm.
person's financial future. What does that relationship feel like, look like? And what if you do it to hundreds, and those
Yeah.
hundreds do it to hundreds? What if you're the start of something that literally changes 1,000 people's lives, helps people enjoy their financial future, their retirement, their family in a new and pretty exciting way?
Well, and I love how you say that. Imagine if you helped others and 1,000, but even more so, imagine if you just helped your own family. And that's where we're
Absolutely.
starting here, right? We're restoring belief in financial freedom. And so there really are, as we talked about those tenets at the beginning, it's not Fortnite and as my son Mountain Dew, right? It's these seven tenets of financial freedom. It's all seven of them. They create that new path, JD, that you and I have formed, right? So you
A
have your
brighter,
savings. Go ahead, yeah.
yeah, it's as the image shows, it's a brighter future.
Yeah.
You keep going. This new path is a brighter future. You go ahead, John.
So our future and our focus, a lot of people often say, hey, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care, right? And so this is why we are doing this. JD often talks about how we want to become a meaningful benefit and a valuable partnership. So we want to partner not only with those who are giving benefits to you, but with you as our members as well, to make sure the experience is fantastic, that it's above anything else that you've experienced. Category creator and marketplace disruptor. We want to enable your success and increase your growth.
Yeah, the thing is, and I don't mean to read every word, but I think it's critical that when we talk about that, we really want to restore trust, and we want to reward loyalty. We want to engage leaders and enrich builders, and we want to elevate the potential and simplify wealth creation. The program that we've developed offers an unmatched earning of 68%. John, there's not another company that even comes close to what we're doing. The average company is somewhere between 33 and 39%. And
Yeah.
so for us to come out of the gate swinging and offer our members and our partners an opportunity like this with unmatched earning potential is just the beginning.
Agreed. And that's one thing that I want everybody to remember. This is just one of the pillars, those unmatched earnings. So as we go forward here, the very first thing that we talk about, and this is where I love the comment from Christian Jensen. He says, amen, this is an amazing platform and community because it's actually benefiting everyone who takes advantage of the membership itself. It's such a cool, simple concept. And this is why it's so simple and so cool. By becoming a member of Member Benefits, we're going to help you go up to 3x your savings. As you can see right here, there's home, auto, and recreational insurance. JD, if you could take 5 seconds, you switched your insurance. How much did you pay and how much are you paying now using the insurance through here?
So when we switched our health insurance, we went from 1,600 to about 775. When we switched our home and auto, not only did we find out we were really significantly underinsured, but we're saving about $300 a month with the best insurance that we've ever had on our home and our automobiles. When we switched our mobile to our wholesale mobile plan, we're saving about $3,600 a year. In total, this year, we'll probably save somewhere in the neighborhood of $19,000, $20,000 a year on the benefits that we offer every single one of our members.
So if I had a mic and I was on stage, I'd go mic drop right now. If you didn't
Mic
watch
drop.
another thing on this entire 15 minutes that we're going to go through, the fact that you're able to go in, and once again, Christian, this is elementary. He said that, right? Or it's simple. If you become a member, just the savings on, if all you did was what JD did, your insurance, your mobile, and your health insurance, then you have paid for years and years and years. And on top of that, we have Now, here's a really important thing before I go and move on. I don't want to go too in depth here. For a company to be part of these, JD and I have made sure that every company who's a part of this, you cannot find this deal better anywhere else. So for them to offer you insurance through here, it has to be the best you can find.
Yeah, we really only have two. We only really have two requirements of our partners. One, we want to be world-class partners to our partners, and we want to give them exposure and opportunities to our members that's world-class. But on the flip side, we require two things of them: that they treat our members like world-class clients, and that they get the very best respect and treatment possible. The second thing is they get the very best price possible. The second they don't treat our members with that kind of world-class experience, they're out. And the second we can find their product somewhere cheaper, they're out. They understand it, and so far it's been incredible. We have about 100 products. By the end of the year, we'll have about 300 products that our members will have access to. All of these products are designed to help you save more money than you ever have.
I love it. Now we have our education. This one's super, super cool because 12 masterclass roundtables, that's one per month, 12 personal mastery coaching, one per month, 12 strategic trading webinars, one per month, full access member trading academy. We're going to show briefly here in a second. But here's the cool part. If you read up there, included in your monthly membership, these are not extra. Those savings, they're not charging you extra to get the savings. These education, they're not charging you to get that. And so JD, I'm going to ask you just to go here. This really is a brilliant, brilliant tool that we're showing up on the screen right now with our education. If you could talk about that briefly.
You bet. I think that for most of us, when we talk about a tenant and we're talking about our financial future and even freedom, financial freedom, we've got to grow. We've got to become better than we were. We have to develop some skills. And what better way than in the comfort of your own home to be able to go into a member academy. We have access to over 500 courses, everything from personal empowerment to emotional resilience, all the way to real estate investing, fixes and flips. The opportunity for our members to gain access to real meaningful education is literally at their fingertips, and it's included. This platform also has over 1,000 videos, and those videos are everything's searchable. So you have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm looking to learn more about communication skills. And at your fingertips, you'll have 5 to 10 videos to help with that, maybe 3 to 4 courses to help with that. Within the platform, our Member Academy platform, we have this incredible AI tool that you can use to track where you're at in your life. You can do it every day. You can do it every week. You can do it every month. It's going to ask you 10 questions. It's going to ask you how you're feeling. How do you feel about your finances? How do you feel about your future? How do you feel about your relationships? And you just answer it, and it will track it day over day, week over week, month over month, and it will show you how you're doing. But after you get done answering each and every time, it will say, I see how you're feeling. I'm going to share with you a couple of videos in a training course that could maybe help you feel better or feel different. This alone will change people's lives. If we expect to have a financial freedom and a changed financial future, we must grow. And I want you to know that we've gone to great lengths to provide these products as an included benefit into the platform.
I love that. And the education getting up there. We're currently working with some universities nationwide to help with education through university to help get degrees at a greatly discounted rate as well. Then we move on through marketing, helping you 3x your marketing. And once again, included in your membership, 52 Voice of the Experts, 12 social marketing white papers, one per month, 12 lead development strategy, one per month, 52 week at a glance performance and productivity calendar. I mean, that last one alone, I know it's kind of tucked at the bottom, but the ability to be able to go in there and have a productivity calendar to help you once again grow. Everything here is to help you gain that financial freedom to be able to save your money, grow your money, build your education to make more money, and then get out there in front of people to be able to have more money. Now, we briefly touched on this one, JD,
Well,
as far as
can
benefits.
I just add something? I know
Oh yeah,
we're
absolutely.
trying to go fast, but you can't talk to a professional coach who doesn't say that your net worth is directly tied to your network. Every single
Mm,
one of them says, build your network and you'll increase your net worth. And that's really the purpose of that part of this platform, is to
yeah.
help people grow their network so that they can develop a more meaningful net worth.
I love that. If anybody wants an awesome soundbite, welcome to JD's TED Talk, right? Increase your network to increase your net worth. I love it. Now, the benefits, we've talked a little bit about this. The healthcare alone, though, I do want, obviously healthcare, dental, eye care. We also have artisan wellness for people who prefer that route. I have very dear family and friends who absolutely believe in that over going to the doctor. I, for one, I like going to the doctor. Now, you mentioned briefly, JD, before that you switched over to this affordable healthcare solution, and you're saving again how much a month just on your healthcare?
It's just over $800 a month on our healthcare, and it's been an incredible replacement to what we had before. Our benefits are actually better, but we didn't stop there. We now have two totally different healthcare options, so people can go in and really explore what's best for them. They can look at these companies and compare them to each other. The average member will save about 35 to 40% on their healthcare, whether they use product A or product B. It's incredible. And again,
That's
we're
crazy,
just getting
JD.
started.
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
All right, I'm dusting off the microphone and I'm dropping it again, right? Because at the end of the day, once again, I'm going to quote Christian. It's so simple. If that's the only thing you do, then you've now saved per month more than you'd ever spend. And that's brilliant. So I love that. Now we're going to move on to business support because this one's super cool. I mean, they're all cool. Let's be brutally honest. But this one's incredibly cool because once again, your business, you want to grow it, you want to save money on your business, grow your business, right? Grow your network and increase your net worth. I'm going to use that, JD, so much. Now, there's a pretty famous guy there. And JD, if you've got 5 seconds, kind of talk about that one because I think that's a pretty amazing partnership that they receive through member benefits.
We're pretty lucky. Kevin O'Leary's company, Tax Hive, these guys specialize in business optimization. Most of us don't have businesses, but we should. Most of us should be looking at our life and our household in a different way and treat it more like a business. We should be looking for some of those advantages that businesses have. For those people who do have businesses, many of them aren't structuring it in the right way, and they're not taking full advantage of that business opportunity. And so this partnership is pretty special because these guys look at you where you're at. They don't try to fit you into another plan. They look at you where you're at, and then they talk to you about how restructuring or changing your approach will save you tens of thousands of dollars per year, but protect your financial future. Great if we can build it, and it's great if we can save you a bunch of money, but we really need to structure this in a way that protects you. And we have about 10 companies that are partnered with us that really specialize in different ways to either protect your current business, your future business, your legacy. But again, we really want you to have access to the kinds of tools, the systems, the people, the companies that many people don't have access to that will ensure that you have a better financial future. And again, these guys, they're going to do it at a great discount to our members.
What is that discount, by the way? All their products across the board, correct?
Yeah, so every company has a little bit of a different product structure, but in this case, the Tax Hive folks are coming to us with a 30% off their very best price to our members.
I love that. Now, here's the one that I'm super excited about. So, as JD knows, I may have 3 followers or more on Instagram. And so oftentimes people will come to me and say, hey, we want you to record a video. We want you to do a promotional post. And so they'll pay me a lump sum up front, and I'll talk about this delicious ice cream or this fantastic shampoo or whatever it may be. And so influencers do that. There's also, affiliate marketing where you have big name companies say, hey, you go out there as an influencer and promote my shampoo. and I will give you a code, and everybody who uses that code, right, will pay you a lump sum up front, or will pay you a small dollar amount. And so it's really a big deal in the influencer world to be able to receive income off of referring someone to the gym, or whatever product it may be. Well, JD and I got to talking about these member benefits and how important it is for us to build another tenant that allows for individuals to be able to refer out this amazing savings, and they make money off it as well. So JD, I'm going to have you go through here. What I'm going to ask you to do is just verbally say, click to the next. So that way we make sure the man behind the curtain knows when to go to the next one on this one.
Well, thanks, John. This is probably the one tenant that I'm most excited about, because when we looked at those early slides and people are working second and third jobs, people are trying to create side hustles, people are looking for answers. And what we did is we said, what's the best part of peer-to-peer? What's the best part of referral? What's the best part of influencer? What's the best part of direct sales? What's the best part of networking sales? And we took all of those components and over many months designed what I'm going to call the rocket ship of RevShare. And the reason that it's a rocket ship is because at the core of it, we built a spillover community, a velocity matrix that will actually engage the organization, inspire the organization, and create energy in the organization. The problem with most influencer or peer-to-peer or even network type organizations is that they all have some pretty inherent weaknesses. They either only pay directly, they might pay down a couple of levels, they don't create a community, they don't create this sort of energetic, enthusiastic organization. And so as we step back, people are like, oh, you're like an affiliate. No. Oh, you're like a net. No, you're like, no, we took a little bit of all of it and we tried to create the cousin that's better than all of them. We took the best of all of it and put it into what we have. And so we have this 4x7 velocity matrix that literally just helps put people into the organization through spillover. We can talk a little bit more about that. But spillover is not that exciting unless you create the right rewards up front. And so let's just quickly talk about the fast rewards. When members invite other members and those members join, every time that happens, the referring member gets $30. And in a calendar month, they'll get $30. This is calendar month to calendar month to calendar month, and it's important. The thing is we know that there are some influencers who will drive 50, 100 member activity in a calendar month, and so we want to create some tiers that reward differently. So if you enroll 1 to 4 new members in a calendar month, you'll make $30 off of each of those members. If you enroll 5 to 9, that goes up to $35 off of each of those members. If you enroll 10 to 20 or 15 to 20, excuse me, then you'll get $40 off of each of those members. And if you enroll more than 20, you'll get $50 off of each of those members. Now, there are some people out there, John, you're one of them. I've seen your videos. I see that, you do one video and 1,000 people go and buy the ice cream. Well, in this case, if you did that and 100 people said, man, I want to save money, I want better benefits, I want access to Kevin O'Leary's company, I want this RevShare tool, I want in, and 100 of them did it, we would pay you $5,000. And if you did it again next month, we'd pay you another $5,000. If you did it again the next month, we'd pay you another $5,000. We want to be partners to our members, and we don't want to treat this like some sort of a financial game where we create the environment where you're not going to qualify. We expect you to qualify, and we expect to pay you. Again, we're going to pay out 68%. It's going to be the largest amount in the history of any of those kinds of programs. But if that's regular fuel, our incentive pool is rocket fuel. And in any calendar month, where you enroll 5 or more, you get 1 share. If you enroll 10 or more, you get 3 shares. If you enroll 15 or more, you get 7 shares. If you enroll 20 or more, you get 15 shares. And then for every 10 people after 20, for every 10 people after 20 that you enroll, you get 5 shares. So we're going to use John's example again. He sends it out, he enrolls 100. He's going to end up getting 55 shares. Why does that matter? Well, why it matters is, as a company, we're taking 10% of the gross revenue and we're putting it into a pool. And we're saying this pool is available for anyone who has a share. If you want 1 share, great. If you want 55 shares, great. And we've ran our model a dozen times. The attorneys tell us we have to say shares could be as low as $25 all the way up to $300 per share. Our model almost every single time says they're worth about $100 per share. So when we look at this, John, you got 100 people to engage this month. You're going to make 5,000 off Fast Reward, and you're going to make 5,500 off of the shares. Now, I can't guarantee the share value, but according to this and according to our model, that's a pretty good month for the same 100 people. That doesn't.
Oh my gosh, it's brilliant.
It doesn't normally happen in traditional peer-to-peer and traditional influencer. The biggest difference is we're talking about a program that costs $50 a month. We're not talking about a gigantic sign up or a big package. We're not talking about a product that doesn't have significant value, but it gets better than this. So as you add those 100 people, 4 of them, because we're a 4x7 velocity matrix, 4 of them can be literally frontline to you on your first level, your child relationship. But everyone else has to be pushed down into the organization. And so your first child would only get 4, and your second child would only get 4. So you're going to have 4 on your first level, 16 on your second level, 64 on your third level. Now, I want to reward you for that, and so that's why you're getting the 5,000 in Fast Reward, and whatever that share value is, we'll say it's 100 and $5,500 in the share reward. But what you've done is you have created a small community, and you've created energy and excitement. Those 4 people that are on your first level, that child relationship, they now have people in their organization that they're going to get paid off of that they didn't do any work for. And that becomes incredibly exciting, especially as you're talking about a program that's affordable, that's designed and created to help people where they're at.
And one thing I want to talk on real fast here to interject, when you talk about this incentive pool right here, and you talk about, okay, 5%, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, so on. I think it's really critical for people to understand that we decided that it wasn't going to be, okay, after pay, then we share net. That 10% is from the gross. So it's a legitimate 10% of total company, not after payout, not after expenses, not after the shampoos and ice creams. It is gross. And I think it is so exciting.
For a lot of people, they don't really at this point maybe understand exactly what we're saying, but I will tell you that in the direct marketing, the network space, the influencer space, they like to play a lot of games. So if $100 is commissionable, if there's $100 that's available to be paid out in RevShare, what they will do is they will take the 10% out of the bucket, and so now there's $90. And then the next 10% that comes out of the bucket is on that $90. And then they'll take that $9 out, and then there's $81. Yeah. And then the next 10% comes out of that. We don't play any of those shell games. We really, truly, sincerely want to treat everyone as a partner in this. And so when it says 10%, it's 10%, $10 coming out. And then the next 10% is $10 coming out. And the next 5% is $5 coming out. And we are going to end up paying a true 68% of the total RevShare reward volume.
Exactly. And before we talk about quarterly RevShare bonus, Christian said there's people asking him, are there going to be more tangible products available? Now, people are asking, and I only want to take 5 to 10 seconds, but JD, Are you pretty excited about now? As far as our partner products, there's already multiple tangible products available today that yes, they can buy, whether it be the beef, the screensavers, the backpacks. There's magnetic hair there's all sorts of stuff that way, not just intangible tax savings or healthcare or
I
things
mean, we
like
have
that.
travel partners back there. We've got
Mhm.
a cruise guy back there that won't be beat. His average
Yeah.
savings is about 35% over the very best you see out there. So real tangible products. Well, if the velocity matrix were to fill up, it would roughly pay someone about $58,000 a month, roughly. And so that's a lot of money, and that's pretty fantastic. But that's based on our core member structure, $50 a month. We're adding four products to the core that people can add on if they want to. We have a really advanced and aggressive CRM product that's unlike anything that you've ever seen in the marketplace. I don't want to go into great detail, but it is truly a game changer for people who need a CRM.
Yeah.
Instead of paying hundreds of dollars a month, it'll be $50 a month, and it will change your business. That $50 a month is going to also be RevShare commissionable at
Yep.
68%. So if everyone in your organization and the matrix was full, was on the core, you'd make $58,000 a month. If everyone in your velocity matrix was also on with the CRM, you'd make $118,000 a month. We have a third product that's coming that's pretty fantastic. It's a social media tool that will do 90% of the work for you, and it's $50 a month. I know that there are people paying $1,000 a month for their CRM, and I know there are people paying over $1,000 a month for the done-for-you social marketing. These products will be at an incredible value, but what it's going to do is it's going to double, triple, and quadruple the opportunity for the RevShare reward.
And I love that. And on top of those physical products, again, from gross, and we're running out of time rapidly, and I appreciate everybody being a part of this for this presentation. We also have the quarterly RevShare bonus pool. This one's super cool, JD.
Yeah, and for the sake of time, what I will say is that we're taking 1% of the total gross, and we're setting it aside for those members who decide they want to be leaders in the business. And then we're taking a separate 1% and we're putting it in another pool, and a third 1% and putting it into a third pool. Those are cumulative pools. Those are for people who really see this as the opportunity that they need to change their life and really help us grow this organization and grow this opportunity. There will be some gigantic bonuses paid out of those three pools. And then finally,
yes,
oh, go
this
ahead.
is the cool one. No, I was just going to say, everybody knows insurance agents, right, JD? And the way they make their money, yeah, they make money up front, but then they have this really cool system that JD and we've taken, and we have said, listen, let's offer it to our partners as well.
Yeah, whether you're 401k1 salesman or your insurance salesman or your annuity salesman, they get what's called a annual renewal bonus. So when you renew with your insurance, they get a little bonus. When you renew with your 401k, they get a little bonus. Because we want to treat everyone like a true partner and create true partnerships, we will have a renewal bonus that's called legacy reward. So in the case of John, he decides he's going to go absolutely crazy. He needs to make a lot of money, and he signs up 100 February and March. The next year, January, February, and March, whenever those people re-enroll, John will make $50 on each of those people. Year after year, if you're consistently and steadily sharing this opportunity and savings and this financial freedom model with people, you could build a significant portfolio that just pays you year after year after year on those renewal memberships. We have one of our founding partners, Eric Jones, said the other night, no one's leaving. If you show people how to save money, if you show people how to make money, if you show people how to get better education, if you do these things and it stays affordable, no one's leaving. And we feel the same way. And so this legacy reward becomes this massive opportunity year after year to really, really benefit our member partners.
And that's the big thing, is our final tenet is debt elimination. And this thing is beyond critical. And again, look in the orange, it's included in your monthly membership.
So most people, John, don't have a plan, whether it's for getting out of debt or consolidating or figuring out how to take the next step. Most people don't have a plan. And we leveraged the last 40 years of really brilliant people in the financial space. And we said, what are the fastest and easiest ways for people to get out of debt? And then we designed an entire product around that. And so, and again, it's included. There's no extra charge. We want this platform to empower our members to change their own lives. And so within 4 clicks, you will have your own personalized custom plan. You start here, and it's going to tell you that in less than a minute, you can start your debt-free journey. Click forward. It's going to ask you if you have a goal or a dream. Do you want to save some money for a down payment? Do you need a new car? What is it that you want once you start to accomplish your debt freedom? Because we know that if you set a clear goal, your chances of achieving your debt freedom goes up by 42%. So on this screen, we haven't asked you your name. We haven't asked for any information. We simply just encourage you to fill out all of your debts, however many there are, whether it's a credit card, an automobile, education, a mortgage, and you put those in there, how much you pay per month. You put in there what your monthly, what your total amount owed is, and then you hit create. And when you hit create, it will bring up one of 2 plans. And whether you add money to it or you don't add money to it, this is going to save years and tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest paid. My wife and I have used this plan to get out of debt about 15 years ago. And it was one of the greatest things that we ever did. And we've been debt free ever since. And that's not to say that we're special. We literally followed a plan. It was arduous. It was very taxing. We had to put together all of these poster boards to kind of figure out all the steps. We've taken that and some other technology and we've automated it. Not only can you see how much you will save and how quickly you can get out of debt in just a matter of seconds, up on the screen, you can see there's a little sliding bar there. And on that sliding bar, you can say how much extra you want to contribute each month. And it will automatically show you how quickly you could pay off that debt. Here's why this is so powerful. John, my family, we can't afford to pay any extra towards our debt. But I just saved $330 a month on my cell phone bill. So maybe I'll add an extra 100 here. Wait a minute, I just saved about $300 a month on my car insurance. I'll add an extra 100 here. Wait a minute, I saved about $800 on my health insurance. I add an extra 400 here. Wait a minute, I shared it with 10 people who shared it with 10 people. I'm making an extra $2,500 a month. Maybe I'll put $1,250 in. And incrementally, I just start adding the amount that I can pay, and I watch my debt get eliminated. And the coolest part about this tool that we've built is that you have a coach. And your coach is this big, friendly, hairy Yeti. He's not judgmental. He just understands what it feels like to have this mountain of debt. And he's going to give you tips and tricks along the way to encourage you to achieve your goals. If I could say anything that I really want you to understand is if you want to change your life, if you forget everything else, pay the membership. If this plan is included, find out how quickly you can get out of debt and how easy it is for you to secure your financial future.
And I love that, JD, because once again, we're talking the 7 tenets. You don't have to go out and sell. You don't have to go out and switch over your cell phone bill to be a part of this. Every single one of these items, they're included in your membership. And I love how you said, I personally strongly recommend as well, if the only thing you use out of your membership is Yeti debt relief, do it. If the only thing you decide to do is, okay, I'm going to get out of debt, but I also want to save money on my health care because that will actually help me get out of debt faster, do it. And if you decide, hey, I want to, like myself as a influencer, I laugh every time, but people reach out and they say, hey, would you mind promoting this? If you're someone like that who says, hey, I really like my gym, and by the way, you should join my gym, and the gym says, hey, JD, thanks for referring people to my gym, I'm going to pay you a portion of their monthly membership fee. That's what we're doing. So these aren't empty promises. These aren't things that are saying, hey, we hope and we might, and we use magic fingers, right, to make things happen. No, these are real world. The companies who are part of this have to give the best price available. The people who are a part of this, we want them to leave here becoming more financially free than they've ever been before. And with this sliding scale, if you took yours right now, JD, and let's say that debt was yours, you said, okay, I saved 100 here, 500 here, 500 here. And at the end, you say, well, I've also referred a few people, so I'm making an extra 500. That avalanche method, it goes from 13 years down, 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 down. And now you're looking at, I could be debt free in 3 years. I think that's so amazing. But it keeps getting even better. Right now, we are in the soft launch, right, JD? And a lot of people, when they do incredibly soft launch, and when people do the full launch, they typically do it at a hotel, right? Or they do it at their office, and it's fun. Nothing I'm saying about that is negative. That is a fun way to do a company launch. But we're different. We're not like every other company. So our hard launch, JD, is when?
November 10th.
And we're going to do it on
Oasis of the Seas. Like I said before, we have a partner that's phenomenal, and he's helping us put together packages that if you don't do anything else and you don't even like us, great. You should go on this cruise. The price is so unbelievable. You should go on this cruise. But on this cruise, we are going to launch our company, and we are going to really kick off this kind of financial freedom future for everybody. Now, here's the fun part. I said before, if you enrolled 100 people, John, you would get, based on that theoretical example, you'd get 10,500. But on the cruise, we would also give you a $3,000 travel bonus. Now, awesome. That's not a month. If you were to enroll 100 people between May 15th and September 30th, then you qualify for that. But even better than that, and this is the one we're so excited about, it's an unlimited number of winners. Any person who enrolls 125 people from May 15th to September 30th, we will pay an all-expense, totally inclusive VIP experience on this cruise for 2. And truly and hopefully, we have 1,000 people who win it. We have the rooms booked. I sincerely hope we have 1,000 people who win it, because what will happen is that entire organization, that entire matrix will fill up, and people will make more money than they've ever dreamt possible. So if you want to make a bunch of money and you want to go on a cruise, enroll 125 people between May 15th and September 30th, and it will be our treat, and we can't wait to host you.
And I love that. Once again, this is not, get everybody to sign up these $2,500 packages, right? This is just help people save money. Help people save money on their health care, on their cell phone. If it's a business owner, help them save 30% off on the tax from Tax Hive and all of their products. If they're a camper, 20% off all of those camping supplies through that national retailer. I mean, this thing here is all about, and those of you who are like, well, I'm an influencer, I can get out there, I can help other people save money. That's where this comes into play. And you're like, well, I only have 25 people, but I still want to go on a cruise. We'll still come on the cruise with us. And if you have 25 people from now through September, we'll give you $500 cash, right? It's not all or nothing.
Plus all the RevShare that you would have made.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love that. So here's, at the end of the day, JD, this is our plan, right? This is where the vision of how we want that bright path going forward.
Yeah, it is a new path. And for people who can see that path and can want to participate, the next 120 days is what we're going to call the pre-launch explosion. And during that time, we can't wait to see how many people are going to earn some portion of their trip in cash or a free VIP trip for two. At the 180 days, we're going to hit that founder's voyage, and we'll never look back. We will add about 200 products to our current products by the time we go on that cruise. And we will also add the advanced CRM, and we will also add the social media platform, the Do It For You social media, which is going to increase our opportunity and the RevShare earning. And then in the first year, and a year from now, we'll have paid out over $5 million in RevShare rewards. That's not a hope. That's not a wish. That is the goal, and that's where we're headed. And within the next 10 years, we're going to pay out $1 billion to our members. We want you to come and have a lot of fun with us. We want you to change your life, whether you're a person who's just looking to change your own life in a small way, in a big way, or you're looking to change hundreds of people's lives. We want you to take this seriously, and we want you to join us. We really sincerely appreciate your time, and we're so grateful that you're here with us at this time. John, thank you. I know we promised people that we were going to take a short amount of time and share this. It's just not possible. I mean, I think we've tried to cut it down. There's just too much good here, and it just takes too much time to explain.
And I agree with you. I was raised in Germany, JD. You know that. Obviously, he's my friend and partner, and those who know me. And there's something I've told everybody out there. If there's something that's good, you do it yesterday, right? You don't wait till tomorrow. You don't sit there, oh, hum and ha. If it's something good, you do it yesterday. If you know that you can get healthcare for 30% on average cheaper, why wouldn't you contact today? If you knew you could get your cell phone, same service, same phone, same everything, but cheaper, why wouldn't you do it yesterday? Right? And that's my challenge to everybody on here today. No matter which tenet you believe in for financial freedom, there is something here that will benefit you. There is something here that will not only benefit you, it will make you more free than you were before. Thank you, Christian. We've never seen anything so simple. You said it perfectly. Just do it. LOL. There's nothing really to overthink about it. And that's true. You can sit there and say, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? Okay, that's wonderful. But what about saving your family money? At the end of the day, what about taking care of your own personal finances to where you're no longer stressed at night? You're no longer wondering what tomorrow will bring. You're no longer sitting there saying, I don't know how I'm going to cut it tomorrow. That financial freedom comes through following these 7 tenets, whether it be your benefits, doing better business, increasing your education, increasing your marketing, and as JD said, increasing your network to increase your net worth, by increasing your savings, by getting the debt relief program, and the final tenet where it all ties together. If you decide that you want to share this with other people and experience what RevShare really means, this is for you. And this is not good. This is great. And because it's great, I challenge each and every single one of you to take advantage of it and save the money and grow the money. But either way, I'm asking you to elevate your life.
I love that, and I appreciate that, John. Many years ago, one of my favorite people on the planet, Stephen Covey, and I were having a conversation in the hallway of a church in Montana, and we were kind of visiting with each other. And between us, we were talking about what is our impact? What can we do for others? And he looked at me in all sincerity. I even think he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, you cannot give what you don't have. Mm-hmm. If you don't have time, you can't give it. If you don't have energy, resources, capacity, capability, money, whatever you can't give what you don't have. And it hit me, it struck me in an interesting way. And I started to think about, what do I want to be able to give my children, my grandchildren, my neighbors, my community, my partners? And if I don't have it, I can't give it. And so everything that I've done over the last 10 years is to free up my ability to be able to give. It's a totally different mindset. It's a totally different objective. But I want you to think about, what would it do for you if you had the freedom of time, if you had the freedom of money, if you had the freedom of energy? What could you do differently? And I accept John's challenge, and I add to it, go do something differently so that you can go do something differently. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.